They say comparison the thief of joy. So back then, I was on social media consuming, comparing myself to a whole bunch of other people in my grade, rappers. Their life was not the same as mine, and that definitely decreased my value and decreased my quality of life because I was comparing myself with them. We're spellcasters, and the words we say are spells. So when I'm going in the mirror and I'm spellcasting, I'm telling myself, I love you, you look good, and you're strong, so on and so forth. So that's me being impeccable with my words. I'm casting spells that are benefiting me. I'm sowing seeds that are gonna grow and getting rid of the weeds. Unlock my potential, or at least allow my creativity to really flow until I became a freer version of myself. I was doing a lot of shadow work, mirror talking, giving myself affirmations, and speaking on me saying that I hated myself. It was my appearance. So I just looked in the mirror. I live with myself. I have to look in the mirror. And then I started working out too. 30 push-ups every day, 60 push-ups every day, pull-ups every day. I got bigger, got stronger. Cedric, I hear you like I'm young.
Ooh.
You better not ever go to cell block one.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the CYR Podcast, where we talk everything entrepreneurship, business, mental health, captivate people's stories. I always want to say captivate. I don't understand that. Capture people's stories.
Because we got captivating stories.
We do. You're not lying. You're not lying. In the hopes that it inspires somebody out there to clean their room. Because when you clean your room, you clean your life. Today on the show, we got my boy, Anthony Sherrod, doing big things.
Trying.
Everything digital, everything media.
Trying.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, so as Payne said, my name is Anthony Sherrod. I go by the Young God on Streets A&R Podcast.
Young God.
Yep. That's where I do all the editing. And I tend to forget, but I kind of co-own it.
There we go.
I tend to forget, but I kind of co-own it. And I'm a student first, you know. I'm at the University of UNO right now, double major, music technology and marketing. So that's where the digital media comes in play.
I feel that. I want real quick before we gas you up even more, because my boy be doing some crazy things out here when it comes to the camera work. He be doing some crazy things when it comes to the edits too. We first met, bro, at the YMCA.
Yeah.
I remember you was still legit in high school. You were still in high school, man. You had your locks, they was long. I don't even remember, like you just came up and talked to me.
Yeah, because you was big. Yeah, muscle.
He said you have muscle.
Yeah, so I just went to go talk to you.
Yeah, man, and through talking, like I just found out some of your passions, bro. I found out like you had already been creating, you had already had a YouTube channel, and at this time, like I was in the height of my creativity. Well, let's not call it my height because I feel like I'm reaching my height now. Well, I'm working towards it, but I was like really into that, and to see you, I think you were either a junior or a senior at the time.
I might have been a senior.
Yeah, you might have been a senior. You're a senior at the time, and just hearing you hungry to be able to create, like that sparked something in me. I'm curious, bro, like where did that hunger to create and to really get into the digital space, like where did that start for you?
Well, and I knew you was gonna ask this, but I started off wanting to be a rapper first. So I wanted to do music, hence why I went into music technology to learn like engineering and things of that nature. But I wanted to be an artist first. And I seen this rapper, battle rapper, Daylight. He was talking about, yeah, if you want to be a rapper, you really got to be able to do everything yourself. Produce, engineer, do the visuals. So that's why I started going into like my creative bag and working on the music. And the next step was photos and videos.
Facts. You still create music?
I haven't been in the studio. I haven't touched anything in a long time.
No.
Been focusing on what's bringing me attention.
Most definitely.
That's the photos and videos.
Photos, videos. Okay, so like, let's talk about that transition then. Like, how did you finally make that jump? I know you said you heard the battle rapper talking about that, but how did you make the jump from, okay, I'm not going to be producing anymore, I'm not going to be beat making, which again, like he was in his bag. He was out here making beats. He was out here rapping on the beats. He was out here making visuals for his stuff. But like, how did you jump from that to, okay, I'm going to hone in on this craft right here, this skill, and really like make it happen?
Well, I was talking to another older friend of mine, I guess you could say mentor. All my friends are older than me. DJ Elliot Ness, shout out to you. But he was telling me, we were having a meeting and I was talking to him about, I kind of want to do this music thing, so on and so forth. But he was telling me how back when he was doing DJing in Cali, he wished he would have stuck with the DJing because that's what was bringing him attention instead of focusing on his artistry. So he was just telling me, maybe you should just focus on what's bringing you attention right now. And I was like, that's a smart thing.
And the video and the photography is what was really popping.
Exactly, because I branched a lot and I grew a lot and I got a lot of connection from just doing podcasting with Eric, Streets A&R. I met you, Johnny, been doing things with Marcy. Shout out to Marcy Yates.
Culture House.
Yep.
House. Yeah.
So this was working.
Most definitely. Well, let's talk about that. Like, how did you even get the opportunity to partner up and become like a co-owner of Streets A&R?
Yeah,
you a rapper at the time. You a rapper and you a producer. Like, how did that even?
So I met Eric at this program Crane has called Upward Bound, and it's for high school students, and they're preparing you for college essentially. And it was during one of his summer courses. He was teaching a music class, and on this day that I decided to go to his class, I wanted to work out instead, but I just went to his class. So and we were just vibing and talking, and I don't know how I connected with him, but I was like, yeah, I'm interested to connect with people, so on and so forth. I do editing right now for myself. Let's work together to see what's going to happen. And then we met with a bunch of other people. Johnny was one of them, Miguel, D1, and we just started doing pod together. And I was really doing all the live production stuff, like in person, while D was doing most of the editing, but later I transferred to doing the
all
live
of that
and the post.
Ooh. Was it a hard transition to make, going from live to having to learn post-production, like editing skills?
It definitely was a transition. It wasn't super hard because, again, I was already kind of doing it myself. I just didn't know how time-consuming it was going to be.
Can you talk on that, man? Because I feel like that's a reoccurring theme that I have on the pod. Like, just the amount of time that it actually takes to produce content if you want to produce like quality content. Because people think it's as easy as, let me just put this camera up, let me just get behind it, press record, and next thing you know, I got a viral whatever popping off. But it's more than that. So speak to that.
Yeah, it definitely is harder, but I feel like the hardest part is just creating the content itself, because the things Eric, Johnny, CYR do on the camera is different than what I do off the camera, because they have to create the viral moment. I just help bring it into fruition.
Yeah. But you play a pivotal role in that though.
Yeah, I do help create the image and things of that nature, but it's their words, not mine.
Facts. I feel that. You ever gonna host the Streets A&R again? There was an episode I seen you on there.
There was a couple. I had my episode, the episode I did with where we talked about our first Elsewhere.
Yeah. Where
we went with Marcy Yates to Elsewhere Fest, and he was on stage with
which was big.
Yeah.
That was big.
The Vince Staples, Killer Mike, and I'm glad they invited me out there. So like I said before, big shout out to Marcy Yates. I can't do nothing without him.
Yeah. I feel that, bro. I feel that. For you, when it comes to just your creation process and everything that you're doing, like, where do you see, not your growth cap, but like, what is the potential that you see for yourself? Where do you want to see your trajectory moving to as far as your skills and your craft?
Yeah. The reason why I decided to do music technology and marketing was my end goal was to open up my own agency for artists or it would be a record label, I guess. But I don't want to limit myself to any words, but it would be a place for artists, and I help them through the recording, the digital media, and then the marketing. So that was my initial idea, but it's taken a lot of tosses and turns. So like I've been doing a lot of things with On Pixel, another local production company here. So we do a bunch of corporate events, interviews, things of that nature. I'm looking at doing internships at Union Pacific with their social media. There's a bunch of other companies I can go for, do like marketing and social media for. So it's a lot of things I could do.
Yeah. Dang, so big company, big business, big projects. That's what you see yourself in the future. It's almost like people could come to you for a one-stop shop.
That's the plan.
One-stop shop. I love that. I love that, bro. Well, we're gonna take it back a little bit, okay? We about to rewind a little bit. We know Anthony now. Also, another side note, bro. I used to think your name was Ray.
That's my middle name.
Cause that's what I'm saying. That you had that on everything, and so like Ray, and then you're like, yeah, this Anthony. You text me one time. This was a while back. You text me. It was like, this Anthony. It's like, who?
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I had your name saved as Ray. Like, who is is Anthony?
Yeah, Ray's my middle name.
Yeah. But we're gonna take this back. We know your vision. We know what you're doing now. We know where you want to go. But I kind of want to get into like the story behind the creative. Like,
yeah,
I think something that's prevalent in our culture, bro, is just to be creative. Like, it's in our roots. It's in our DNA. Johnny spoke on that. You know what I'm saying? A few episodes back. It's inside of us to create. And I'm curious, like, what is the story of Anthony? How did he become, or how did he unlock that power of creativity and like really start to like go into what your craft or your build is? And I'll say on the side of that, I know for a lot of us, it's trauma. There's some type of trauma that we use our creative capabilities to kind of voice, or we use it as a conduit to release. And so I'm curious, is that your case? Are there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My creative journey started, I would say, 2nd or 3rd grade. I like drawing a lot. So I used to draw Dragon Ball Z characters a lot.
Okay.
I vividly remember, it had to have been 3rd grade. We had like a free day, so it must have been a Friday. And I was drawing Goku Super Saiyan 3. And it was my favorite drawing.
Long hair.
Yeah. It was my favorite drawing that I ever drew of Goku. But that's where my creative journey started. And I feel like I didn't fully unlock my potential, or at least allow my creativity to really flow, until I became a freer version of myself.
What does that mean?
So I used to not be always happy all the time. I used to have negative thoughts. I guess you say I hated myself at a certain point in time.
How come?
It stems from a lot of things. One of them, I would definitely have to say, it would be my relationship with my father. He was always around. Well, he was in my life. Let me say that. He was in my life. He was there physically and he provided, but he wasn't there emotionally. Mm-hmm. And it always left me with like a lack of validation, especially because I wasn't getting it from him. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about like what it was like growing up with a father who was there, but who was there physically, right? Because I think that's what you said. He was there physically, but just like emotionally was not present for you. And
it was definitely hard. I vividly remember this one time he came home from work. I was definitely young, and I was just wanting to talk to him or whatever. And he was going downstairs and he said, "Man, stop harassing me. Stop harassing me." And I was like, it left me quiet. I was shocked. Like my heart was beating fast. That's all I could hear in my ears. And then I just left him alone.
That's tough, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. And then ever since then, I was walking on eggshells around him, felt very anxious, which no kid should feel like that. It's not a normal thing. Not a normal thing.
It sounds like going through that, which I think on a certain level, a lot of kids that look like you and me, you know what I'm saying, they experience that on different levels. Whether dad is present, present physically or not. It's I think a lot of people don't realize that emotional piece is huge. It's just as important as being there physically, because if we're not there as men, as fathers, if we're not present in our kids' life, they feel that. And I think what you're speaking to right now is a prime example, and how we start to internalize those things. You know what I mean? Like dang, maybe I'm not good enough. You mentioned just like having some self-hatred for yourself because of that. And I'm sure your dad never told you to hate yourself, right?
He didn't tell me to love myself either.
Yeah, exactly. And so the absence of that speaks volumes. It speaks volumes to a young man. And like, I think there should be some shout out or some kudos for you being able to work your way through that journey and continue to work through that journey to find your self-worth and to begin to validate yourself. But even still, man, it truly is our job as men and fathers or future fathers to really be that pillar in our kids' life so that they are able to develop that self-worth. Because when you don't have self-worth, like nothing else around you can have value. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What was your darkest place like as you were going through that? Like what did the low of the low look like for you at that time in your life?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I wouldn't say it was like low, but it just wasn't fun. It just wasn't fun at all. And I give grace to my dad because I know his father wasn't around as much either. So through his eyes, he was thinking he was he was doing good, but he was doing better. And that's what probably he was going off of, but it wasn't the best it could be.
Facts.
It wasn't the best it could be. But I definitely worked through my pain. I think my junior year, so when COVID started happening, I was doing a lot of shadow work, mirror talking, giving myself affirmations. And speaking on me saying that I hated myself, it was my appearance. So I just looked in the mirror. I live with myself. I have to look in the mirror. And then I started working out too. 30 push-ups every day, 60 push-ups every day, pull-ups every day.
Yeah.
I got bigger, got stronger. So when I was talking to you, I was doing powerlifting and I ended up going third in state for my weight class.
Yes, sir. And so that helped with your self-image, self-talk, self-love.
Yeah.
Facts, really pouring into
I would tell myself, I love you. You're the best. You're smart. You're strong. You're capable. Affirmations are important.
Yeah. Was there somebody in particular who was in your life that really started to give you some guidance on how you could start to remedy some of those internal wounds or those internal struggles that you were dealing with?
It might be weird, but no. It was mainly like I was watching a bunch of YouTubers. So people like you were helping me.
Yeah. Or you was tapped in.
People like you were helping me.
Facts.
There we go.
I hear that.
And then later on, shout out to Johnny, but he was one of my teachers. He gave us a book called The 4 Agreements. And as I was reading the book, I was starting to realize that I was doing some of the things that the book we're talking about.
4 Agreements is huge. We was talking about that a little bit off camera, what those 4 agreements are. And you were mentioning there was 2 in particular that really hold near and dear to you. Can you talk about them a little bit?
The first one, and it's the first agreement, is called Be Impeccable with Your Word. So, and that just talks about just being right with yourself and how we're spellcasters and the words we say are spells. So when I'm going in the mirror and I'm spellcasting, I'm telling myself, I love you, you look good, and you're strong, so on and so forth. So that's me being impeccable with my words. I'm casting spells that are benefiting me. I'm sowing seeds that are going to grow and getting rid of the weeds that are destroying me.
Hold on. It might be somebody out there who ain't pick up what you just said. I need you to break that down a little bit more because you was talking about words and then you started talking about weeds. I was following you, okay? I know what you're saying, but it might be somebody out there who don't know what you're saying. So go ahead and break that down real quick.
Yeah, so the words that you say, those are the seeds. And you could say negative things, you could say positive things. And those negative or positive things are going to recreate themselves in reality based on the things you're saying. So if you say, oh, I'm not strong, or I hate you, or you're ugly to yourself, you're going to feel that. You're going to start to become ugly. You're going to start to feel ugly. But if you say, I love you, you're handsome, you're sexy, you're going to start to change and reflect that. And then other people are going to see it too.
So seeds. So what we speak, what we speak, the words that we have, the thoughts that we have, those are seeds that get planted into the soil of life, is what I hear you saying. And if I keep on cultivating and planting these things, eventually something is going to grow from it.
Exactly. And one of the things I always say is I'm happy because I wasn't happy at the time. And now I kind of hate to say it, but people get annoyed when I smile too much.
They some haters. That's all that means.
Yeah.
Man.
They be like, it's not normal to smile too much. I say, what? In my mind, I'm like, that's crazy. That's weird.
I feel it. Keep doing that, bro. I think going off of what you was just saying, bro, that's a realization that I had for myself some years back. And it's just like truly understanding like the depth of the term spellcaster and how much power our words have, or how much power words in general have, whether that be the words that we speak ourselves, the words that somebody else speaks to us or doesn't speak to us, or even the words that we intake through media, whether that be social media, whether that be music, whether that be TV, whether that be even reading a newspaper, like all of that, like believe it or not, has an influence on this thing in between our two ears, right behind our eyes. And it really can start to work things. Like I realized for myself, bro, because I was similar to you. Like I had a lot of self-hatred for myself growing up. I was fat, bro. I was fat. And I'm not here to fat shame, but I was sloppy. You know what I'm saying? Big, sloppy. They used to call me Whopper Neck. I used to have... Go ahead. No, do it, bro. Do it. Let the camera's gonna pan over to you.
Trolling. Just trolling.
No, it was bad, bro. It was bad. And like, I hated myself. I hated myself so much, dude. I hated myself so much, but I didn't realize like all that self-hatred for myself was not gonna make my situation any better. It wasn't gonna make me love myself anymore. It wasn't gonna make anybody around me show love for me anymore. And it wasn't until I got older and really started to realize that like my internal belief of myself was what was affecting my external reality. It's what was affecting how I treated this thing right here, how I treated this one right here. And so when I really started to like do the internal work in my mind, and the only way that I was able to do that, shout out to LP for bringing this up in another episode. I swear I got dope people coming on here dropping gems. Bro.
Nah, I already seen.
We about to be quoting you in future episodes too, bro, because y'all all speaking some real stuff. But it wasn't until I got in solitude in my mind and really started to think and reflect on myself, on everything, like actually started feeding my mind like things that wasn't bull. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to just consume, or what they call doom scrolling now. It's easy to do that, but when I'm tapped into something that's actually going to nourish me, you know what I'm saying? That's actually going to fill this thing right here, fill this one right here with something that can help it like bloom. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when I really started to notice the change. So first one, so we're going to hop back on track now. First one, be impeccable with your word.
Yeah.
What was the second one?
And before we hop to the second one, I was going to go back to the consuming the media.
Hit it.
I was also comparing myself to other people. They say comparison the thief of joy. So back then I was on social media consuming, comparing myself to a whole bunch of other people in my grade, rappers. Their life was not the same as mine. And that definitely decreased my value and decreased my quality of life because I was comparing myself with them. Mm-hmm. And then at the time too, I was listening to depressing music, bunch of Juice WRLD, XXX. So it was just, I listen to it now for pure nostalgia, but it was just reaffirming the feelings that I had, which is not a good way to go about it.
Music hit different when you're not intentional with it. And if you don't have an understanding of it, it'll hit different. If you're in a down state, bro, and you turn something like Juice WRLD, it affirms all the feelings that you already got inside. And so now you got these words, I still see the shadows in my room. Can't take back the love. Like, and now I'm really internalizing that without even realizing it. Cause it's like this is what I'm feeling. And so now I'm telling myself what to think as I'm feeling this. And it puts people in these perpetual states and cycles of like stuck in whatever emotional state they in. I remember for myself, bro, I was Gucci man. Mm-hmm. Like I was that era, bro. And so I'm out here selling drugs, bro. And Gucci playing, and I'm like, I'm feeling myself, bro. I'm feeling myself. And so like I realized for me, like as I got older and I'm trying to listen to Gucci, like I ain't start selling drugs again, but like it just always takes me back to that wavelength, that frequency, that mindset. And like I slowly start to see myself like shifting in thought patterns when I listen to that, or like anything similar to that. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. If it turn on while I'm riding with somebody or something, all right, yeah, this is cool. Or even like Wayne, bro, like growing up on Wayne, mixtape Wayne.
No, yeah, I missed that era.
Oh man, that was an era to be had, but just what he be talking about, man. I'm like, bro, I can't be on no, I can't. You know what I'm saying? And so at least for myself now, like I'm just super intentional about what I feed my mind, because if I'm not, bro, it's deep in for me. But number two,
it was don't take anything personal, or something along the lines of that. And I definitely use that every day. That's how I can be so happy. Things happen to me, I don't take it personal. So like, for example, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, my car got hit and run. My second one. Wild, right? But they left a note or whatever, but I didn't take nothing personal. I was definitely feeling away for a day, but the next day it was cool again. I was like, maybe I don't need to take it to the shop. Maybe I'm cool.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I have that ability to, if I feel something, I can let go of it within 30 minutes, an hour, a day. And then I'm back to being my neutral, happy self.
There's levels to it, bro.
Yeah, because happiness is my natural state now.
Yeah. I love that. I will say you better than me, bro. Don't hit and run me. Please. I probably would have been feeling like a crash out, man. But I guess I needed to hear that, because it's like, you can't take that stuff. It's just a car.
Yeah.
It's just a car, man.
I wasn't even in it.
Yeah, exactly. Perspective shift, like, because it could have been worse. It could be worse. It always could be worse. You still got this life. You still breathing. You still able to get from point A to point B. Like, you got people around you who care about you. So I think that is a good point to make, perspective shift. But if I'm being honest with you,
You just gonna crash out?
in the moment, I would have been feeling like a crash out.
You gotta put that ski on? Swiss cheese somebody?
No, we ain't Swiss cheesing nobody. No, bro. You make some really good points, and I think it's dope to see that progression of your hero's journey. That's what I like to call it, like, because that's what it is, man. And I truly believe that each one of us can find our purpose in those pains that we've experienced through our life, because we have a unique story that we've traversed. And for some of us, hopefully in the future, majority of us, like, we've made it through that story. Like, sometimes people get stuck in this victim state, you know what I mean? Where life is just perpetually happening to them. They're always on the shit end. They're always in that position of like, why does this keep happening? Why does this keep coming? Why can't I? And so just to be able to hear you say that, you say without saying like, I wanted to be the decider of how my life was going to go. I wanted to create happiness for myself. I hated myself, but I was tired of hating myself. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to be this creator who does things. Like, that's a beautiful journey and a beautiful story. And there's a bunch of people out there who need to know that, bro. There are people who've experienced things that are similar to what you've experienced and still are. You know what I'm saying? That need to hear that encouragement, that need to hear that wisdom about like how you were able to overcome those challenges. And so I guess a follow-up question to that fucking soapbox that I just gave is like, what are things like now with your dad?
After all that, my parents ended up getting a divorce. And I had went back to go talk to him, because for some reason I gotta be the bigger man, but that's okay because I will be. And I went back to talk to him. We had a very deep conversation. We both ended up crying. And now things are good, but I still can't be around him too much. And that's because, and it wasn't like that right away, but slowly I could see he hasn't changed at all. He's still negative. He still says things about my brothers or like my mom, and I'm like, bro, chill. We supposed to be spending time together, but you're using it time to attack or like spell cast against us.
Yeah, I hear that.
So it is definitely kind of hard, but I still miss him, and I know that I still do because I was watching this movie called The Creator, and I only watched it because of one reason. Do you know what the reason?
No,
they shot it on FX3s.
Oh, he said, I want to see this.
Yeah. So I had to see what they was doing, but
it was clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Denzel Washington's son. He the main character.
Okay.
So it was a good movie, but there's this scene at the end of the movie where the main character ends up sacrificing his life for his kid, and I see myself as the kid every time I watch it. I always cry. I've watched it twice, and I've cried every single time. And even think about this last night when I was like, oh, what am I going to say? I kind of got emotional just thinking about it. And like I said, I basically see myself as the kid, and I wish that was my dad. So I still miss him, and it's still kind of hard, but we just growing, looking to move forward.
Facts. I think that's a piece of grief that that's not talked about often. Grief of somebody who's still living, because a lot of times, like, we think grief only applies to death, but there's so much more to grief. There's grief in breakups, like with relationships or separations and divorces. There's grief with that. There's grief in friendships. But having to grieve the idea of a relationship with a parental figure, the idea of what you wish it could be, having to grieve that's something that a lot of people are not familiar with doing. I think a lot of people are in the position where they have to, and they don't really know how. And so it's like the spectrum. It's either I accept my parent for exactly who they are and conform to what they want, or is I completely cut them out of my life altogether. And it's like, even when I work with my clients, bro, as a therapist, it's like the healthiest thing to do, like in those situations, is being able to come to a point to where I can accept my parent for who they are and understand who they are, and grieve the idea of what I wish they would have been. And that's hard to do. That's hard to do because, like, it's like saying I wish my dad could be in my kid's life, you know, heavy. I wish my mom could do X, Y, and Z, and then having to live with the reality of, like, they're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pain. That hurts, especially like when you love somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have that deep love for them. And so when I hear you say that and you identifying with the emotions behind that movie and experiencing that, like, that's real and that's raw, bro. How do you, for yourself, process that?
It's definitely a hard thing to do. I just try to show up when I can. So if I set the intention of going over to his house, hanging out, I know what's gonna come with it, but I just accept it and I go through it. Because I got to see my dad. He got to see me.
Yeah.
We're blood. We're one and the same, but different.
Most definitely. Most definitely. So let's kind of bring this all together now. You had your life experiences. You had your traumas with your father that you grew up with. How do you use that energy to pour into your creative process, if at all?
I don't think I do, because it's separate from me. My creative person is different than the person who went through all that. Yeah, I might use it here and there, but it's a different person. It's a different mindset. It's a different being. Creative Anthony is, or young God, whatever you want to say, he's a different person.
Yeah. And I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to live in that, bro, and truly identify that and be able to shed your old layer. You know what I'm saying? Being able to shed out of that and say, like, man, this is my rebirth, and I'm cool with that, and I'm happy with that, and I'm confident in my skin. You know what I'm saying? I'm confident with who I am. That truly is a beautiful thing, bro. Couple more questions, and then
Of course.
and then we're gonna wrap this up. When it comes to what you do now, like, how can people plug in with you, or is that even like on the table right now? Like, can people book you? Can people like work with you? Like, if they got projects, can they come? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do people do that?
Yeah, booking is not a thing yet. I'm a school guy first. So, you get the reference?
Yeah.
So I'm a school guy first. So, but yeah, I'm always open. I'm a freelance, everything. So I would definitely, you got a business, you could definitely tap in. We could definitely do content. My only issue is retention. I've had a bunch of offers. I'm very good at selling myself now, but a bunch of people don't see value. And I know Churlish Media, he was talking about that too.
Yeah.
He didn't know people was gonna say no. So that's the phase I'm at right now.
Facts. Okay, let's talk on this a little bit. So walk me through, like, you don't got to drop no names or anything like that. That's not what I'm asking. But when it comes to the retention piece, like, where do you see people starting to fall off, like with the process?
So I've had meetings. We've talked. I've showed them my work. They say, "Oh, this is amazing. We would love to do it." I give them a price. They say, "Oh, no problem." I send a following back text saying, "Hey, what's it looking like? If you have any questions, please reach out." Sometimes it's no response. Sometimes it's, "Oh, your price is too high." Sometimes it's, "Oh, we don't need it right now."
And that's a lot of the meetings that you set up.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, let's break this down. We about to do a quick coaching session.
There we go.
That's cool. Yeah. Let's break this down. All right. First off, tell me about the services that are being offered in some of these meetings.
Right. So it's a long form video, and say if we do real estate, let's leave it at real estate. It'd be real estate. It'd be a long form video, one long form video for YouTube, and then 2 to 4 shorts per house or selling.
Okay.
Strictly on videography.
Yeah.
So, and then those also include like pictures a little bit, and then I'm coaching you through what to say, giving you questions, and then editing and all of this.
Got you.
So that would be the offer for a real estate.
So is this when it comes to the long form, is it a particular type of long form video, or it could be anything? It could be vlog.
So it would be more like for YouTube based. So say if we do the real estate example, we continue with that. It would be like, oh, a day in the life of so and so, or we're talking about this house and I do B-roll of the house, and then basically you giving me information about the house.
Got you. Okay, so right now with this client in particular, a real estate client looking for a day in the life, and in this whole package, like, how much was the final offer?
The one I gave him was $800.
Okay, which is not bad. That's not bad at all.
Nah, because houses they selling $400,000, $500,000.
That's true. But they make like a 10% commission.
10% of that is a lot of money.
That's still a lot. You are absolutely correct. Advice that I would give on that is maybe Omaha real estate is not the market that you need to be marketing to. So when it comes to your skill set and what you do, bro, we have to look at the market, and we have to look at, like, where is the market value and the market demand. Being in Omaha, bro, we're behind the times with a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so kind of like Churlish Media, like what he was saying, like, people don't see the value in that. If that realtor did that, could that create some value for him? Yes, 100% could create some value, or him or her, whichever it is. But they don't see the value in that. And so we have to find the market that is going to find the value in that, given your scope, if you're only limited to this area. You know what I'm saying? And so one, we need to be looking at making packages for different types of companies, different types of businesses, ones that when I pitch $800, which I think is like, that honestly is low. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's low. Like that's why I was like, that's not bad. Like, you give me Reels content, you editing up my long form of a day in the life, because a day in the life, that's at least 12 hours of footage, maybe. Like, how many hours of footage is that? What you saying, Dan? 12 hours of footage. Listen, y'all, to edit 12 hours, for every hour of footage, I would say just give yourself, for every hour, that's probably like 4 hours of editing, maybe. Whether that be cuts, getting out B-roll, like moving stuff to B-roll tracks, editing up the audio. Like there's a lot that it's not just, oh, I got 12 hours of footage, so it's just 12 hours of editing. No, it's not that. And so at $800, 12 hours, and we equate it to, that's the high end, maybe 4 hours per hour. That's high end. But let's say that's 48 hours that you're going to put into that, divided by 8. 48 hours.
And they still not going for it.
That is wild. That's $8 an hour that you're working for.
And they still not going for it.
Exactly, because that price point isn't it. That price point isn't it. When you went in there to present, was it virtual or was it in person?
It was I went to the house they were showing.
Okay.
And I got to see the house and we was just talking.
So it was just talk and here are my prices, here are these things.
Mm-hmm. But they seen my page. They liked everything I was doing.
Facts.
They knew my quality was high.
Facts. People like this. All right. Let's say, hey, your family got a house. You got a house. You live in a house. All right. Let's say you needed some major work done on your house. Okay. Major work. Like y'all was looking to add on, make some extensions to your house, big extensions. And it equated to about 2,000 square feet worth of home y'all wanted to add on. And so y'all were looking and getting bids. And one bid came in and they were like, I can do this, this, and this. And it'll cost about this much money. Just like that. This, and that. Y'all want to do this, this, and this. These are the measurements. Okay, it'll cost about this much. Another bid y'all went to, it came, and they're like, okay, y'all told them we want to do this. We want to add about 2,000 square feet, yada, 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 blase, blase, right? And he was like, all right, I'm going to be right back. Let's set up a follow-up meeting, and we can talk about pricing after that. He comes back, he has a folder. And in that folder, he has a price breakdown of everything. Mm-hmm. And he's like, for every square foot, this is what we offer in here. This is what comes with this. This is what it looks like right here. And he's not lowballed. When it comes to this product that you're trying to create, 2,000 square feet, that's a whole nother house. For some people, that's 2 houses that's added on. Which person would you feel more comfortable with working with?
The one that give me a breakdown?
The one that give you a breakdown. Why?
I know where the money going.
Presentation is key. And I'm not saying that your presentation is what lost that person. I think what lost that person is they were just cheap. And they saw a price that they didn't even realize was cheap, and went away from it. But like how I present something to somebody, how I go into it, like you want those high ticket clients. You want those clients that are going to pay you for what you're worth. Like, one, you have to assert what you're worth. 2, you have to present yourself as if you are worth that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only way that you're going to be able to attract that. Something that I realized even in my field, bro, is like, if I'm constantly presenting myself as like, I give away free therapy, like, then that's all I'm going to attract is I give away free therapy. Like, I got kids, you know what I'm saying? I got a mortgage, I got car payment, I got gas, I got lights, I got food. As much as I would like to give everybody out there free therapy, like that free therapy ain't paying for my family or my bills.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I had to present and package in a different way. You got a sheet that you got to fill out. You're going to follow up with my admins They're going to see if it's a good fit. And if it's a good fit, then we can get you on the books. And if it's a not good fit with me, then we can get you with another one of the therapists that we got in office. But it's about how I package it, and it's about how it looks. You know what I'm saying? That right there, like how we package our things will change the game. And don't lowball yourself, bro. Don't lowball yourself to try to get yourself out there. I remember seeing you, and I think doing this is good. I remember seeing you do those free shoots. Those are fire. Do that. But when you do those, always have packages on the back end that you're ready to flip, and always have the information on hand. Even if it's not physical, have like a digital page where you have specific services, and it doesn't go outside of this, because you're not tailoring yourself to other people's needs. They're seeing if you're a good fit for them, and you're seeing if they're a good fit for you as a client. Mm-hmm. And if they have you doing stuff outside of what you're ready to do in that moment. And when I say ready, I don't mean like you're not equipped to do it, because you're equipped to do a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, if I can't streamline this process for you, like maybe I'm not a good fit, and you might need to find somebody else. And the moment that you're able to like start turning down offers because they don't fit, that's the moment that the offers that were meant for you will start to come in, bro. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, because I'm at that phase where I just want to get all the work.
We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk with you off camera, bro. We're gonna set you up and get you right, bro, because your skill set is too nice to sleep on it like that, bro. And get you booked and busy. You already booked and busy though. You still are you still doing Baxter Arena? Working there?
Yeah.
How's that going?
Amazing. I have 2 shifts this weekend. We're doing Guns and Hoses, I think is what it is. And then I think a volleyball game or something like that.
That's big. Yeah.
No, yeah, but Baxter been amazing. I love it. I do AV, so audio visual production assistant at Baxter. I'm on TV graded cameras, so I enjoy it a lot.
Facts.
I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, see, my guy's out here, man. It's a beautiful thing, bro. How many more years you got in school?
I should graduate 2027. I'm a junior right now, so I have 2 more years, I believe. Yeah. So I should graduate with 2 degrees, so that's gonna be nice.
That's crazy, man.
Time flies by very fast, because I met you my senior year.
That's what I'm saying. That's what, 4 years ago? Just about?
2022 is when I graduated.
2022? So 3 years. Roughly 3 years. Yeah, no, it actually was 3 years, because it was about this time. It was when I was in my downtown office, had the windows, all that. You popped in, you said, "Oh, dang."
Corner office.
Yeah, corner office, bro. That's something I had to do for myself. I'll never do it again, though. But that's something I had to do for myself, bro. I always had the vision. I'm like, bro, I want the corner office. I want the windows, floor to ceiling. I want to be able to walk in there, and I did that, bro. And I was spending a bag on that office. And it's like, I could have had like 3 offices for the price of what I was paying for that office.
Wow.
Yeah.
But now you do.
Now I do. Spoke it to existence. Yeah. We getting close to time though, bro. Real quick, let everybody know where they can tap in with some of your work, see your creativity, see your artistry, maybe even listen to a track or 2 if they still out there. Let them know.
Yeah, so my personal videography page is Anthony and More on Instagram. I have a YouTube. I have 1 video on there.
Yeah.
Haven't really been too active on there. But as far as where you can find the podcast, Streets A&R Podcast, Instagram, we're on everything but Apple. And that's just the same we got, because we still not on Apple. Eric probably never gonna put us on Apple, and that's okay.
Is there a reason?
We had issues in the beginning. I think his email wasn't lining up or something, probably because he don't have an Apple product at all.
Oh, he's on the Android. Mr. Green Bubble.
Yeah, Mr. Advance, because they're all advanced.
I feel it. One last thing. And I should have had you do this before you shouted yourself out, but we here, so it don't matter. What's one actionable item you can give to the people to like take away from anything that you shared, or, you know, what like a hope, an inspiration, like something that you can give them?
I would say words of affirmation and mirror talking is very important for you to do. It's very important, especially if you have negative thoughts. You just got to go ahead and speak positive. Speak light into yourself in your mirror, because then you're having a conversation with yourself and you're really talking to yourself, bringing that light back into yourself. You're speaking it out and then you're absorbing it. You're just like a flower, right back to them seeds that you're planting.
Here we go. It's always good, bro. Always good.